Good evening, everybody. This is Master Ryan with Ming's Martial Arts of Katy in the Houston, Texas branch. Wanted to spend a few minutes just talking to you guys about some of the Wing Chun Hand Methods, but trying to give you guys a few fixed patterns, but then try to have you guys work on more shadow boxing. I know here at our school, and I'm sure Sifu does it as well, is when we look at some of the hand methods in the Wing Chun curriculum. Now these are more quote unquote offensive. Okay, I'll say quote unquote because most of our offensive strikes are defensive. Our defensive strikes can be offensive. So it's not so black and white. But just talking it from in general an offensive point of view, we have the yan punch, the yin punch, the sak ging sao, and then the three palms. So what I'm going to do is just kind of give you guys something you can work on at home. Not only can you work the individual techniques, but then we can start grouping the techniques together as maybe basic patterns, and then eventually go into shadow boxing. Okay. Now, in general, when you shadow box, you're just putting together, 3, 4, 5 movements at one point, one pattern, right? You're not gonna go into a 17-point combo for shadow boxing, right? A lot of times, from a Shaolin or a Heaven perspective, boom, 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 right? You might just kind of go through a few movements, right? And drill those. And so I'm going to start with a couple basic patterns, and then hopefully you guys can put some time into training at home, using this opportunity to really increase your shadow boxing experience with the Wing Chun hands. A lot of times, with Wing Chun practitioners, they're very robotic, right? They'll do the yan punch and then the yin punch and then the chops and then some of the palms, and they'll be very robotic is what I call it. So what we want to do is kind of break outside that mold and be a little more free, be a little more flow within the hand methods. And so we create more mobility, more circles, and we're not so rigid. So with that said, I'm just going to give you guys a few fixed patterns real quick. So the first two, what I did here is I just kind of put some together. So the first pattern will be yan yin, right? So now when you guys do yan yin, you guys can do the, going into the front stance, neutral stance. Sometimes we train it like that, but I want you guys to use a little more mobility. So as you guys train it, kind of move around a little bit, right? Now, if this is human development, we don't have to be like super heaven posture, but at the same time, I don't want you guys to be too stagnant either, right? So kind of still be light on your feet, but at the same time, because it's human, I'm still have mobility, right? So the first drill is going to be yan yan, yin yin. So 1 2 1 2. We just kind of move a little bit, 1 2 1 2. Here 1 2 1 2, and kind of work that with some mobility, with some step slide, that type of thing. Okay, that's the first one. Second one would be sak ging sao. Now you kind of have doing it with the palm down and the palm up. Now you can do it two ways. You can do it with palm down, then palm up. 1 2 1 2. Or you can reverse it where it's palm up then palm down. 1 2 1 2. Okay, so then kind of put them together as a pattern, right? 1 2 1 2, right? 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and just kind of move around with it a little bit. Try not to be too robotic. Okay. Then the next one going to be the palms. We have a regular neutral palm. Okay. Then we have side palm. Side palm can be low side palm here. Sometimes, depending on how you're teaching it, sometimes it can be a high side palm, which is not quite the underneath one, but it'd be kind of towards the side this way. Or of course the rib shots, that type of thing. And then the underneath one is, think of it as more like an uppercut, but we're using the palms to go underneath. Okay, and then we can kind of put that together a little, right? So palms, low palms, uppercuts, palms low, uppercuts, and then we kind of go from there, okay? Now, once you guys kind of play with those patterns a little bit, and feel a little, you know, that you start having some flow with those, then the next step is basically we're gonna play kind of a shadow boxing thing. Now, what I recommend is, just like what I talked about in the beginning of the video, you know, I might just practice, you know, jab, cross, hook, and making sure I'm covering, right? And you know, with our Shaolin fundamentals, I'm just gonna fix or have like 2, 3, 4, 5 strikes, but just kind of keep that in the shadow boxing realm, okay? We don't want to do like a preset combo that's, you know, 15, 20 techniques that are all preset. Again, that goes away from flow and kind of adheres you more to a pattern. So we want to always start with the pattern, but just like our second hall, we start with fixed patterns, and then we go into third hall, which is non-fixed patterns, or more free time, space, and energy. So an example of some flow real quick. We're moving, ba 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 ba, right? Ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba, ba 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 ba. And we just kind of move like that. So we have our yan punch, we have the in punch, we have our chops, we have our palm heels, okay? And really try to use those as much as you can, but be free with it. And try not to boom, 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 boom. We can try to be just kind of a little less robotic and just kind of move, okay? So hope that helps you guys. Put in some time with shadow boxing so you don't have to think about it, and it's a great workout. All right, thank you.